Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I think at the moment I'm the only one on this train, and I was on another train, but that train was delayed and I ended up not knowing where this train was and having to run, but I think I got on the right train finally, so I'm gonna try and make it to Kamakura in one piece. So this train has a bathroom in the back, which I think is really cool. I haven't seen a lot of trains that have bathrooms like that, where it's like very obvious and in the open. I'm not sure if most local trains have bathrooms or not, but this one definitely does. As you might have guessed, I don't live in Kamakura, so to get to Kamakura I have to take multiple trains, and there's no direct train from where I live to Kamakura. I think that's important information because the more confident I become in taking the train, the more I realize that sometimes it's good to really look at the route before you travel to understand if you're going to have connections or something like that. It just makes everything easier. And this is a Ghibli store I found. I asked the lady working there if I can take video inside. She said no, but photos are fine. So these are the photos. I'm a big Ghibli fan. Although this area is a place I've visited before, I was surprised to see how busy it was. Oh, somebody's there. I just went to this shop and the owner smiled, so I stopped by and I started chatting with him. And surprisingly, he spoke English pretty much fluently because he'd been in California before, which is where I was born. Anyways, I bought this snack. I asked him which was the best, specifically which he liked the best, and he recommended this one, which I think he said has edamame inside of it, so I'm gonna try it. And what you're seeing along the side of the road here is like a pathway to one of the biggest shrines that I know about in Kamakura, but I don't talk about it a lot in this video because I feel like it deserves a video of its own, but just that is what you were looking at. I wanted to go someplace that was not so crowded, but still without getting lost, so I kind of like walked down the street from the station and just started exploring. But it's actually really interesting. I've been to Kamakura several times, but I've never like actually just like walked around for the sake of exploring, like as though I was a tourist. And it's a really different feeling. But yeah, I just decided to make a day trip out of it and explore a little bit, edit this up, and then share it with you guys because it was a busy week and I barely picked up my camera during the work week. And usually when I did, I was in a hurry, so I thought this might be a fun change of pace than what I've been doing. This place is pretty. It's like a restaurant shop, the place behind me. This area itself was just so exciting because there were so many different types of shops. There was a place where you could get like kimono fittings. There was a churro stand somewhere along this row here. There was a place for hairpins. There were several places where you could get like crystals or stones like tiger's eye or rose quartz. And the smell of all of the food and just, oh, it smelled amazing, like sweets and fried foods, and there were so many different vendors. I actually ended up stopping at one and buying some little like coral earrings. I didn't show them in the video, but it was just kind of like an infectious area. Like it felt exciting. It felt like a type of place that made you want to be outside and see what was going on and see why everybody else was so excited. And like some of the displays the businesses had were just so like attractive to the eye that it just made you want to wander through all of them. And the main reason I didn't was because after a point I decided that I wanted to go to the Kamakura Central Park, which is about a 48-minute walk away from the Kamakura Station, which all of this that you're watching is nearby to. So I didn't want to get too sidetracked because I knew I had a long walk ahead of me, but I can't hype this area up enough. I feel like it's just like a really fun day out type activity spot. And here I am embarking on my walk. I walked for almost an hour, partially because I was stopping to take photos and videos and stuff. But it was cool. Like, the area is not what I expected because I've mainly just been to Kamakura Station. So I've not really looked around and got to like experience and enjoy the historical aspects of Kamakura, which there were many. Like this area that I'm showing right now, I was just really surprised at how beautiful it was. And especially this part right here. I looked it up afterwards and I found out that it's like the White Heron Pond, and there's actually like a legend about like the pond's origin. I'm gonna put a link to a Japanese site that I found that explains it, because a lot of this I learned about like shortly after the trip. Like I looked it up because I was just so interested in what I saw. But I think it's better to get it from like a more official source. So I'm gonna put some references in the video description. And also I could have taken the train from the Kamakura Station to the Kita-Kamakura Station, which is right here, and that would have probably been faster. This is where the GPS is taking me. And I feel like maybe it's taking me somewhere else. I don't know. I'm feeling lost, but I don't think I am. So I used Google Maps all the way from Kamakura Station, or the little street by the station, to where I'm at right now in the video. And I would not really recommend it. I think it would be much smarter, unless you really love to walk, to take the train from Kamakura Station to Kita-Kamakura Station and then just get off. And then you have about a 20-25 minute walk to the Kamakura Central Park. I think that would be probably a better use of your time. I mean, if you don't mind the walk, hey, go for it. But I just think if I could do it over again, that's probably what I would have done, because this route actually included some pretty steep hills. But on the pro side, it was extremely beautiful. The sun was sunning. There was like a bamboo forest that I passed by, and I got to my destination using Google Maps without any serious hiccups. And this is the park that I went to see. I looked down the road after entering the park, and it looks like there was another entrance to the park than the one that I used. I entered through like an actual like residential neighborhood type area that had like an entry into the park. But I think if I'd gone farther down the road, I would have accessed the part of the park that looked more the way it did on Google, because this is not how it looked in like the Google images that I saw beforehand. Does that make sense? But anyways, it was very, very peaceful. I felt like if I had more time, I could have just stayed out there for several hours. But now I know for the next time, and I definitely appreciated the adventure. I hope that you enjoyed joining me, and if you enjoyed this content, please subscribe.